It's the test lead, and today's video is 5 tips for manual QA engineers. This video will cover verbiage versatility, communication of test coverage, learning more about the product, bugs and defects, and prioritizing the test order. Also, please note the full transcript is in the description box below. Verbiage versatility. This is what will separate you from the crowd as a QA manual tester. If you can communicate in a language that the product owners understand, as well as a language that the developers understand, you can be a true glue piece to your team. This will require extra effort. You have to be knowledgeable regarding the products you're testing, as well as a high-level understanding of the code that you are testing, and being able to communicate each adequately to each other. This versatility will seem strenuous at first, but can in fact improve the overall team flow for projects. You can be a universal reference point using knowledge transfer and communicating it appropriately. For example, if you find a bug while manual testing regarding a certain input field not accepting certain characters, if you know enough about the code, you can then debug the code yourself and try to find possible reasons for the problem happening. That way later on, when you communicate the defect to your team, you can then make suggestions, possibly saving your developers time trying to find the solutions on their own. Next is communicate test coverage. Depending on your team structure, as a manual QA tester, may be responsible for creating a test plan for testing the application. This test plan should be at minimum include everything that the requirements documentation gathered from the product owner. Next, you want to make sure everything documented in a test plan is adequately being tested. There should be a test case for every possible scenario that the application being tested could possibly experience. You must clearly dictate and document to your team, as well as any software tools are going to be manually tested by QA, and what test cases are going to be automated. This documentation should be shared and accessible to everyone on your team to avoid any confusion on what parts they are testing. Learn about the product. The more you know about the product that is being tested, the better. Don't be afraid to ask questions to the developers and product owners and any other research that you have tied to any product. Ask questions like, what end users will be using this application? On average, how many end users will be using it daily? Do similar products already exist in production? The end users are the people who will use the product once it is deployed to production. So it's vital to think like an end user when you are creating tests. By asking the above questions, you can put yourself in the end user's seat and form more adequate test cases. Bugs and defects. Usually no application is 100% perfect after the development phase. Your job is to find all the bugs and defects as early as possible. Don't be afraid to break things. If you can find ways to break an application, there's a good chance that an end user can do the same. Make sure you check all the bugs and defects that you find. Once the bug or defect is fixed and redeployed, make sure you not only test the functionality that was broken, but you should also retest the other core functionality to confirm that the fix did not have an adverse effect on other parts of the application. Make sure you're comfortable with the fix after testing before giving your approval or signing off on the testing. And finally, prioritize testing order. Depending on the methodology that your team is using, you may have tight deadlines for your testing. Make sure you are able to prioritize the different parts of the application that is being tested. The complete application should have test cases, but if one particular portion will have higher usage, make sure you spend adequate time thoroughly making sure no bugs exist for it. Also, once bugs and defects are found, you can help prioritize to see if it is something that should be fixed immediately or it can be fixed after the deployment. Either way, you should be documenting the bugs that you find. This is when knowledge of the application is very important. For example, a new calculator application is being created that offers addition, subtraction, and multiplication capabilities. The target audience is first graders who will use it 99% of the time for addition and subtraction. What features do you think should have the highest importance? Obviously, the addition and subtraction features. Scale a simple example to other applications that you may encounter in the future. If you found this video helpful at all, please like, share, and subscribe, and thank you for watching.